Hello from Myrtle Beach. Today we are at Huntington Beach State Park, which is just south of Myrtle Beach in Murrells Inlet. To us, it's one of Myrtle Beach's hidden gems. It is so beautiful here. Hi, I'm Carmen. If you're new here, we cover everything Myrtle Beach and the surrounding area. If you're a return viewer, welcome back. We are so glad to have you with us. Huntington Beach State Park is a beautiful park. We want to talk about this area as we pass it, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the park in general. There are a couple of observation stations here, as well as some across the marsh. This is a marsh area. There are quite a few alligators to be seen here, lots of birds. I think they have over 400 different waterfowl species here at Huntington Beach State Park. And this area we're on right now is the absolute best area for seeing alligators and also for seeing the birds. There's a protected sidewalk that runs down both sides of this. We can actually see, you probably won't be able to see them, but I'll try to pan over. There's a couple of alligators right over here in the water. And so this is definitely your best shot at seeing some alligators. Of course, do so at your own risk and don't get too close. They are wild animals. So we are going to drive you around here and show you one of the beach accesses and also the Atalaya Castle. The Atalaya Castle is one of the most unique features of this park. This park has RVing, camping, hiking, like I said, tons and tons of wildlife, and they also have the ruins of the Huntingtons, who are a wealthy family of their, I believe it was their winter home. It's the ruins of their castle here called Atalaya Castle, and you can tour those ruins as well as part of the park. There is an upcharge, and we will talk about pricing when we get up to the castle, but it's definitely worth seeing. It's a very nominal fee in addition to your fee to get into the park, and again, we'll talk about all that pricing. They also have beautiful beaches here. I'm talking like over 2 miles of beaches here that are just pristine and beautiful, and this is usually where we find the most seashells, and this is where Brian found his really large shark's tooth. It's one of the biggest ones we've ever seen. Brian thinks it's a megalodon. He's over there saying megalodon. So here is their gift shop, and they also have some other things in that building, and then they also have an ice cream shop. We will show you that, but we are going to park here. This is one of the main parking lots here, and start out looking at the castle, and then we'll show you one of the beach accesses, which is straight ahead from here. We're going to start by giving you a tour of the Atalaya Castle, but while we are walking over there, I wanted to cover the pricing because I know that will be of interest. Now, I do have annual passes to all of South Carolina state parks, which this is a part of that system, for $99 at the time of this recording. All these prices are at the time of this recording, but if you just want to come for the day, it's $8 for adults and $5 for seniors, $4 for youth age 6 to 15, and free for children under 5. And then this castle is a $2 extra admission for adults, but if you have an annual pass, it's included, and children 5 and under are admitted for free to the castle. When you first step in, you've got this long corridor, but on each side, you've got a pretty amazing courtyard, and we've seen weddings here, so apparently you can rent this, I assume, for a fee, probably a big fee, to have a wedding. And there's an identical courtyard on the other side of this breezeway. Also, they do have public restrooms, public, once you're into the park, I should say, both here at the castle and throughout the entire facility, like near both of the public beach access and the campgrounds, that kind of thing. But let's go back to that main corridor and take a little tour of the castle. At the end of the courtyard, you come to this. Unfortunately, you cannot go up these stairs. I wish you could, because it would be an amazing view of the ocean. But here's another look. This is the courtyard on the other side. Got these amazingly tall palm trees. And then we come into here. So each room, I'm not going to give you an entire spoiler tour of this castle because there's actually a lot of rooms to it. But each room is going to have information. But like I said, they have guided tours also. And as far as I know, I don't think there's an upcharge for the tours. Like I said, you have to pay the $2 to get in. But I don't believe, in these corridors, I don't know if it shows on the film, but these are so tight. They're not like modern wide hallways. They're very narrow. But you can go on these guided tours, and a park ranger will give the tours, and they can give you even more details about this incredible castle, or the ruins of it, I should say. There's interesting, here's a Segway tour. Also, they do have various activities here at the park. You can look into the different options. Like we noticed they're doing some crabbing today, meaning it's a guided activity. So you can definitely look into those. Some are free and some have upcharges. So you can check the day that you are here, what's going on. But it's pretty neat. So the beach is straight that way. And my guess is at the time they owned this castle, which was quite a while ago that they lived here, they probably had a view of the ocean would be my guess. But also there's a trail that goes straight back there to the ocean from here. Here's another one of these dark, long corridors. These are the servants' rooms over on this side. Got some storage rooms. We'll walk up here and check out a bathroom. Just wanted to show you that, but storage rooms on this side. And then servants' quarters. I've got the fireplace and everything. Rooms on this side. So here's the bathroom. Brian always points out that it's so sad they have to put plexiglass so that people don't actually try to use it. It is pretty sad. So you can't go in, but you can at least see what they looked like, which is pretty interesting. To me, it's interesting they had a shower. You always see tubs, but you don't usually see showers in older buildings. So this is looking back out to the parking lot that we came into. And then there is one of the major beach accesses, which is our next destination. Now we're to one of the two beach access points, but I wanted to show you what else they have here. They have picnic tables, they have a shelter, they have some playground equipment. This building over here has some restrooms, changing rooms, and also Spoonbill's ice cream. That's fairly new. That opened, I believe, last year. It's a fairly new ice cream shop. And then the gift shop has some snacks that we showed you before as well. One thing I absolutely love about the beach access here at Huntington Beach State Park, and it's true of both of them, we're just going to show you one today, but there's another one at the other end of the park. They all have these sort of boardwalk walkways, and then up ahead, sort of a rubber, I'm not sure what it's made of, but another thing that keeps you from having to sink into the sand. It's just a lot easier to get to the beach. I really appreciate that. It could also help if you have some mobility issues. Beautiful day today. I mean, this doesn't get any more beautiful. Ooh, pretty butterfly. Just gorgeous. So this is also one of my favorite beaches in the area. There are tons of beautiful beaches in the Myrtle Beach area on the Grand Strand, but this is one of my favorites. You're gonna see a lot of people here because we're right at the beach access, but you can either go that way, and that's Litchfield Beach in the far distance down there, or you can go this way, and it goes for a long way. Like, I think we've walked from here to the jetty, and it's like more than 2 miles to walk down there. So it's a long beach. Like I said, there's another beach access. There's also multiple beach accesses from the RV and campground areas. But just look at this beautiful beach, gorgeous. We are at high tide right now, so that shows you right there how wide this beach is. A lot of beaches, when you're at high tide, there's not much beach to sit on, but this one you have got plenty of room. Now we have headed into one of the campgrounds. They have more than one here. They have both RV camping and tent camping. They do have full facilities here, meaning showers, bathrooms, all of that. And they even have rustic camping if you'd like to do that, which basically means no electricity or anything. You're just in the woods, and it's pretty secluded. So if you really want to try that, that's definitely a cool option here. But as you can see, it's beautiful campgrounds. They all have their own beach access. So you have it's private, private to the campground area, beach access as well. We are going to take you on one of the overlooks. This is just one of many overlooks over the marsh area. Again, this is a great area for birds and for alligators. As we look out, that is the road that we came in on right at the beginning. And like I said, the sidewalks along that road are another great place to go for bird and alligator viewing. And then they have these great observational areas. There's 2 of them down there on that side of the bridge. There is a parking lot near this overlook, and also you can use that parking lot to walk down that sidewalk and get to all the birds and wildlife over there. Here we go. We found a couple of alligators. They're here lounging on the shore in the weeds. Here we are walking that protected sidewalk I mentioned that's along the road that you take to get in. So this is one of the greatest places to see alligators. I'm gonna put some shots I have taken previously. Because it's high tide, there's not as many out and about. They're swimming. We keep seeing them swimming, but not as many laying up here. They like to lay on the grass. You can actually see that they lay there, right there. That's one of their spots. So you can definitely come here and check out alligators, but obviously try to time it for low tide if you can. Here's another spot. You can just kind of see where they've sort of mashed the grass down, but I will put some other photos in here that we have taken over time, because most of the time we come here, we see them, like I said, in the warmer, you want to come in the warmer months. Here is a very, very cool bird. There are so many species of birds here. It's just incredible. Show you how close to the sidewalk we are to these alligators. Here are the alligators. There's one here. And then, because I'm so short, I probably should have Brian film this. There is one in the water right there at the edge of the water. So this is definitely a great place along this to see them, because this is even high tide. I usually do not see them like this at high tide. So definitely a great location. We have crossed to the other side. We actually just went to that observation deck, and you could see those same alligators that we showed you, plus a couple more. And now we're on the other side. I'm not saying you won't see alligators here, because they cross the road, I know they do, but this side you typically see birds. There's not as many out right now, I'm guessing, again because of the tides, but I'm gonna put a few photos in here of birds that I have already taken. You can see roseate spoonbills, which are very unique to see because of their pink color, and that's what their spoonbills ice cream is named after. You can also see all kinds of egrets, herons, storks, yes, storks, all different kinds of things. Just as I mentioned, they are on the other side as well. We are over on the other side of the causeway, and here is a big one swimming along. And then we do have a few birds out today over here in the more shallow area, and then in the distance you can see even more birds. Now you see that observation area there, that was destroyed by Hurricane Ian and has not been rebuilt yet, even though that was like a couple of years now. Here's the building for the Nature Center. The Nature Center here is actually really, really nice. They have some live marine and animal exhibits, as well as a lot of information, so definitely recommend you checking it out. There's also these nice observation decks, again, of that beautiful marsh that we showed you. Next to that Nature Center I just showed, this is the observation area. It's also the one I mentioned that was partially destroyed by Hurricane Ian, but as you can see, you can still walk out on part of it. It is not normally underwater. Like, we're just having an exceptionally high tide right now, a king tide, so just ignore the water. Normally you can walk to that barricade, no problem. And over to the side here, when it's low tide, there are just thousands and thousands of tiny crabs, and so they're so fun to watch. They have these giant claws. Definitely recommend checking that out if you were here at low tide. We're at the Sandpiper Pond Nature Trail. It's a good distance. I want to say it's like 2 miles. Maybe the sign will tell us. Let's check out the sign. So here is a map of the park, so you get a good idea of what it looks like. Here's that jetty that I mentioned up here. The big beaches, got the campgrounds, the different hiking trails. I guess it's not going to give us mileage, but I'm pretty sure oh, here it is, 2.5 miles. There's for longer hike, continue north on the beach to the jetty. So I guess it's a 2 mile out and back and 2.5 if you take the longer route. But there's also more hiking trails here and other walking trails as well that are paved. This Sandpiper Pond Trail that we're on now, I know it says out and back again, and that's true if you want to stay in the woods. But if you don't mind walking back on the road carefully, of course, well, actually you can walk slightly off the road, which is what I would recommend. You can actually also make a loop out of it as well. And this at the other end puts you out at the second public beach access that we mentioned. Well, public once you're in the park again. Another huge tip is, unless you're here when it's cool, if you're going to hike these trails, but if you're going to do anything here really, but especially if you're going to hike these trails, you absolutely need to wear bug spray. This is one of the buggiest places I think I've ever been. I'm talking about this specific trail. You get eaten alive by biting flies and mosquitoes. So definitely pack that bug spray. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to click on the video on your screen right now. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.